Y'all, welcome back for another episode of Capri's Corner. Thank you so much for sitting with me, Quartermates. And what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about Masters of the Universe. Now, I watched this movie a solid month ago. I watched the movie. If not 3 weeks ago, I watched this movie. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a millennial, but I'm not an older millennial. I never watched He-Man. Now, did I know who He-Man was? Yes, because unlike other generations, I still had to grow up and know my cultural references. You see what I'm saying? So even though I never watched not a single episode of Masters of the Universe, I knew who He-Man was just by simply looking at him. I said, that's He-Man. Could I quote anything else by it? I absolutely could not. But I could tell you that was He-Man, and that's it. I knew he rode in on that giant tiger. And he had that giant sword, and he started flaying bitches left and right. The people who grew up in the 80s, they love that show. They love the show real, real, real bad. I don't know that ministry, but I never hated on y'all ministry because, again, some of the things that I watched as a millennial, I'm sure y'all was like, what the fuck is this? So I'm not judging you, but I'm just here to tell you I had no nostalgia. There was no nostalgia in it for me. Like how everybody else, they went to go see it because it's like, oh my God, I remember this movie, I remember the show, I really want to go see it. I had none of that. I said, I need something to watch. I'm bored. And I was like, what is this? What is this? Masters of the Universe. Clicked it. And I had a good time. It is funny. It is also corny. And that's my complaint about people who's talking about they said it was bad because it was corny. I then went, after I watched said Masters of the Universe, I went to look at just like a couple episodes, maybe just to see what it was about. And I just found some clips on YouTube. Hey, you must not have watched the show from the clips that I saw of the show. It's extremely corny. Masters of the Universe is extremely corny. But that's like a lot on brand for a lot of the shows in the 80s, like especially animated stuff. There's a level of corniness in 80s cartoons that I have not found anywhere else. There's a level of, like, oh, that's cheesy as fuck, right? In 80s cartoons that I have not yet had repeated as well as they did in 80s cartoons. And that's what Masters of the Universe gave. Very much cheesy, very much corny, very much, dad jokes. Even worse than dad jokes. I don't know what's worse than dad jokes, but let's take it a step further. That's what Masters of the Universe was, and it's fine. Like, not everything has to be, like, super serious and super well written for it to be a good time. Sometimes we can't just turn on TV, turn our brains off. Y'all like to turn your brains off with your men? I like to turn my brain off with the TV. I never turn my brain off with a man. You gotta keep your head on the swivel. See what I'm talking about? Y'all pick y'all priorities. Fuck. Y'all priorities, fuck. Don't yell at me. Yell at yourself. All right. All I'm gonna say is it didn't take itself too seriously. It leaned into exactly what the fuck it was, which was a cheesy movie, a cheesy TV show. And let me just say this. Jared Leto shines when we can't see his face. He shines when we can't see him make the faces that he has to make in order to sound the way that he has to sound. Now, the villain in Masters of the Universe that Jared Leto played, I don't remember his name. Skeletor. There you go. Skeletor. I love Skeletor. I absolutely love Skeletor because, like I said, I love when Jared Leto, I can't see his face. This role, Skeletor is dramatic. Skeletor reminds me of Roger for some reason. Like a less... Actually, no, I think him and Roger would be best friends. I genuinely think Skeletor and Roger would be cool. I do think Roger would turn on Skeletor, though. See, Skeletor is a little naive. Skeletor just needs someone to believe in him, and then, like, he still wants to be evil. And that's another thing that I loved about this movie. We'll get to it, but the point is, let me finish what I said about Roger and Skeletor. Like, Skeletor would, like, I think Roger would be able to convince Skeletor that they're really close, they're real buddies, and to do like a giant heist together, and then eventually, like, they would get it pulled off, but like Roger would leave Skeletor holding the bag. Like, he's gonna want to get caught for it. Roger got all the money. Trust and believe. You gotta know Roger knows. Roger got all the money. Skeletor is just caught red-handed, legit red hand in hand. You see what I'm saying? But like another reason why I love this movie, and I think there's another movie that I had watched recently that also brought back this theme. Villains just being villains because I'm a villain and I want to be evil. It's a Tuesday and I want to take candy from a baby. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm missing in these movies nowadays. Everybody want to make a complex villain. And a complex villain works only in certain situations. It does not work that every villain has some sort of sad sob story that they could have turned out different had the world just loved them the right way. No. No. sometimes, and the problem with that, the problem that I have with those types of movies is that y'all are teaching kids that like when a true villain comes their way, they gotta sit and peel the layers of the villain like a motherfucking onion. This ain't Shrek. All right. You see what I'm saying? When motherfuckers showing you that they rude, when motherfuckers showing you that they evil, when motherfuckers showing you that they're not shit, you supposed to believe them. And the problem is, y'all making these movies out here talking about, well, little Scar, he actually was abandoned. It's like, actually, he was the true person, like that was supposed to be the prince, but Mufasa came in and stole it from him. And y'all are ignoring true lore. You're ignoring real lore, Disney. We're sidetracking for a second. You're ignoring real lore, Disney, that you established just to make a complex villain, and Scar did not need to be a complex villain. He did it because of the same trope. I don't like my brother. He was number one. I don't like the fact that he was number one. His name literally means trash or garbage can. Point is, you see what I'm saying? That's why I like Skeletor. Skeletor said when He-Man came up to him, spoiler, 3, 2, 1 now, when Skeletor came up to him and was like, we could talk about this. Because he worked in HR. And I think that's also another thing that the movie was trying to point out, that like, again, sometimes a villain is just a villain. You want to try to peel back the layers and look at them peeling your skin, but they're flaying you alive because you decided to play therapist instead of picking up your pew-pew and going, bah, 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 bah. You see what I'm saying? Or your sword and going, shah, 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 shah. Right, He-Man? Right. He-Man trying to talk to him like, hey, listen, we can talk about this. You just need a hug. And Skeletor said, sick of all this sensitive ass shit. Sick of all this whiny bullshit. Sick of it. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck is you talking about that I want to be good? I don't want to be good. I like being mean. I like being evil. Fuck is that? What are you talking about? I am an evil motherfucker. And that's exactly what I'm going to continue to be. You over here trying to kumbaya and shit. Yeah, let's kumbaya over the fact that I'm evil. And you're good. And we're always going to have beef because that's just what the fuck it is. Also, Skeletor's voice. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Skeletor. Hear me out. Just hear me out, cause like I know this Jared Leto, but I want the voice. The body was nice too. Y'all seen the way his assistant was, and she left his ass with a quickness. That's what I'm talking about. See, I told you can't trust him. Trying to tell you, I bet you. If he had somebody else, she only would have ran away after he was defeated. You see what I'm saying? She was like, oh, I gotta get out of here so I can save him. You see what I'm saying? But she'd have been in the fight. She'd have been there, throwing bows, throwing hands. You got you the wrong type. That's the problem, Skeletor. You got you the wrong type. I understand that you want to get one of these that rock because you heard the rumors too, right? But you got the wrong one. That one I could have told you she always looking out for herself. She was never gonna look out for you, right? Like she was only fucking with you for a limited time, right? To get what she wanted. And then when it was clear that you couldn't get her what she wanted, you see how quickly she just dipped about there? She said, ooh, things are getting bad. I got a dip. I got a jet. So I don't know. Also, I just want to say, Idris was cool, but he wasn't my favorite in this movie. Like, he was just cool. He was just there. I was like, oh, Idris. Everybody else was. I also appreciated how they did not, they didn't put He-Man and Old Girl together immediately. I'm not saying that they're not going to, because I do need another one. I want a Masters of the Universe 2. Where Skeletor ups the ante a little bit. I want to see how He-Man's adjusting with his life on his home planet and his life in the real world, because something tells me that he would do both. He can't just fully cancel out one without telling, especially the fact that everybody on his second home planet tried to play him and call him crazy. I'd be up there every day with my goddamn tiger. Every time I'm not fighting crime, I'd be up there walking the street with my tiger and showing him my sword, because y'all thought, right? Y'all thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy when I walked into that goddamn video game store and took that goddamn sword. You thought I was crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy at all. Y'all were though, because you tried to play in my face. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I need to see. But like, it just wasn't my favorite part of the movie. But it was nice to see him there. Maybe in the second one he'll do more. And maybe it's just because his character wasn't required to do that much. Right? And the fight scenes, again, I don't need super, like, again, this is only the first movie. He just getting reacclimated. Like, y'all gotta give him a minute. I don't know nothing about He-Man, but give my man a minute. Give my He-Man a minute. He just need a second. We got this. Prime Video, I need 14 of them right now. I put this movie in the same category that I put Dungeons and Dragons Honor of Thieves or Honor and Thieves or whatever it's called, Dungeons and Dragons. It's a movie that fully understands exactly what it is, exactly what it wants to be, and takes itself the appropriate amount of serious and the appropriate amount of funny, and it puts it all together and it creates a well-rounded movie and a good time. I wasn't paying attention, looking at the clock like, oh my God, when is this movie going to be over when I watch He-Man, when I watch Masters of the Universe. And the same thing when I watch Dungeons and Dragons. I wasn't looking at my phone. I didn't pick up my phone at all. Also, I don't really pick up my phone when I watch TV anyway. But the urge to, if a movie can bring out the urge to pick up a movie, to me, it's not that good for me. Because truthfully, here's a fun fact about Capri. Capri didn't get an actual cell phone until she was about 17, almost 18 years old. Her first phone was a first gen BlackBerry. Mind you, iPhone had been on her second or third iPhone by now. Right. So I did not grow up with with social media. So like as I said, I we can lean into it. We can just, we don't have to like, I don't need it to be rushed and pushed in my face. We can branch it out. We can span it out. Honestly, truthfully, a little bit of the ADHD kicked in. That little thought just went away. There's a fun fact about ADHD. Mid thought, your brain can take, much like the sacred timeline and how it's splintered off, and there's like 78 different timelines. That's exactly what can happen with your brain on ADHD while you're talking. You could have a streamlined thought, and then boom, it splinters off into separate thoughts while you're still trying to connect it back to the main thought, and it can't because we got all these different sides now, and that's what happened. Thank you so much for tuning in. Anyway, what else did I want to sit and say? Y'all had said that you wanted this movie to get a theatrical release because, according to Nielsen, Masters of the Universe got a 1.1 billion minutes watched, which breaks down to 8.4 million views, unique views, meaning 8.4 million people sat down and watched it all the way through. 11.7 million views was partial, which I think you understand what that means. Half of it, they watched some of it, but not all of it. 58.5 million views were casual views where they only watched at the most first 20 minutes of it. So people were saying 114 million its opening weekend, and then it earned and out of 170 million that it cost to make. So according to them, that's not a good movie, or like it didn't make the money that it was supposed to make back. But if we were to talk about how much, if they went to the theaters, how much that 8.4 million, because that's what we're really looking at here, the 8.4 million of unique views went to the theater and paid, it would have equaled out to about $125 million at the box office. So it would have either put them at slightly over the 114, because I'm not sure if this is included with the 114 or if it's 114 plus 125. It could be, because otherwise then that would have grossed, it would have made his money back and then some. The point is that I personally think that it did do well in theaters. I get that they're trying to look for a return on investment, but like they're trying to look for a return on investment on its opening freaking weekend. And I think movies are slowly coming back, because the popcorn thing, they're still unaffordable with the popcorn thing, but at least ticket prices. $8 for a ticket isn't that bad comparatively. I know that we come from days where tickets were only like $5, $6, and that's a sweet spot, but we're gonna have to start going to matinee prices and stuff like that. I just want more movies of these made. And I do want them to be in the theater so more people can enjoy them, because like I said, there's a whole audience. Like imagine, there's a whole audience that doesn't know. Also, I think this has to do with the fact that people don't promote their stuff no more. Prime Video, all this sort of stuff, and it feels like y'all want these movies to fail because you guys do a terrible job of promoting them. You only promote them on that goddamn app. Because when it came to the app, that's when I finally started seeing Master of the Universe commercials. But I didn't see any Master of the Universe commercials when it was running in theaters, or nearly as many. I didn't even know it was running in theaters until I found out it was on streaming. And I think that's by design. I think personally that the Hollywood machine likes it. Not like the true Hollywood machine, the streaming machine. They don't really put that much heart into movies that they release theater-wise, because they're always looking to make their money on the back end via streaming. Because streaming, I think they made like an extra some odd $1 million out of those views because of the ads and stuff like that. So I guess, but at the end of the day, I think we need to go back to bringing things to the theaters and letting them stay there for longer than 30 days. That's another thing. Y'all, Netflix has ruined y'all, and streaming has ruined us, where a movie has to do huge numbers. It has to do great in the first week. Otherwise, it's a flop. And that's the reason why movies can't find, TV shows can't find their audiences anymore because you cancel them. That's the reason why Netflix keeps complaining that people aren't watching second seasons of shows anymore, because you condition them to not watch second seasons of shows because you keep canceling them because it didn't find its audience right within the first 72 hours of when you dropped it on Netflix. Same thing with Masters of the Universe. It was a good movie. I think we can make more of them. I don't need every movie to be super, 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 super serious and super, super like taking itself too literal. I do need just a good time movie, and these are just good time movies. So give me more Dungeons and Dragons, give me more Masters of the Universe, and if y'all have any other lighthearted but like fun series that should be made into movies that you think would translate well, you let me know in the comment section below, right? I would love to hear y'all's opinion on it, but I really don't have too much else to say other than I want more He-Man yesterday. Give me 14 of them right now. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and do me a favor. If you did enjoy this video, like, comment, and subscribe so you can get notified for when I make a new video and we can continue to sit in my corner together and shoot the shit, babes. Thanks for sitting with me. Bye.